name's Roy Collins.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a draftsman. He runs a garage.
That makes you smarter. Or does it?
You ought to be all over that windshield. You got lucky. It hit an empty chamber. I had to use it a while back. Now, don't make any more fast moves. I told you the last guy made that mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is no ordinary broadcast, no scheduled program. You stumbled upon a signal sent in vain hope that one such as you may know its contents. If you hear this, by chance or by design, the signal has been received. Beyond the fabric of reality, past any modern sensibility and afar from dimensions that we know, there lies a void. A space between space, outside of time, yet drowned in endless paths of potential. I don't know how long it's been, but the void calls me. It has consumed all and whispers her secrets. Unable to leave my work, I instead chose to share my findings of the travels I have taken in errant waves sent out into the heavens. Prepare yourselves for what lies ahead. Stories of fear, wonder, and the impossible. These are all but a few of the mysteries embedded within these transmissions from the void.
The amber waves of grain bellow on the temperate eve of a summer's twilight. Here, barren and distant, living for a profession of producing life to give nourishment to the other living things around them. But for two young men lost in the throes of boredom, in summer all too short, there's little solace in the company of crops. But in this short tale, a strange and ethereal offer is made. A stay of execution for the summer's grim end. For darkness grows in these fields, nurtured and raised in the void. It wasn't common to see foot traffic on the country roads near Linus's and Danny's houses, and rarer still to see it after dark. Yet, in the fading pink and teal light of the setting sun, the boys spotted a figure, moving deliberate and strange, like a silhouette brought to life. He glided through the gnats, a lean shape against the ripened grain fields. As he neared, his spindly frame became clearer, gray and black stripes running down his suit, broken by garish flashes of red, yellow, and green. His bald head gleamed like a second moon in the twilight.
Ho there, boys!
His voice slashed through the quiet like a whip, and the boys froze.
You two seem like fellows with a taste for fancy and frivolity. Oh, but what a tragedy it is for the night to fall with no rebels to chase, no wonders to see.
He grinned, teeth flashing white in the dimming light, and unfurled a bright, lurid flyer from the folds of his waistcoat.
Ha! But no need to despair. For one night only, I extend to you a special invitation to Corporal Catastrophe's famous Shadow Show. Mortals beyond imagining, wonders that Peter on the brink of nightmare, creatures forgotten by God himself.
His eyes gleamed as the paper flapped in Danny's hands. It was a riot of dark shapes, beasts, men, things that danced on the edge of recognition, all swirling in shadow.
Midnight Boys, the darkest part of the night, on the corner of Pickling Hughes. Don't miss it.
With that, he was off, vanishing as suddenly as he appeared, a faint strain of music trailing in his wake. Linus shifted uneasily.
Danny, are you sure? My parents would kill me if they knew.
Oh, come on, Linus.
Danny's eyes glowed with excitement, still fixed on the flyer.
Don't you want to see what this is about? Nothing ever happens around here.
Linus hesitated. He was always the cautious one, thinking ahead. Danny, however, preferred thinking only after he had taken the plunge. But where Danny led, Linus followed. Always had, always would. By the time they reached the corner of Pickle and Hughes, the last traces of twilight have long disappeared, swallowed by the night. Danny glanced at his watch. 11:57. Almost time.
I don't get it.
Danny muttered, staring at the empty crossroads.
There's nothing here.
Linus frowned, unfolding the paper again.
Pickle and Hughes, darkest part of the night. Maybe
Linus swallowed.
it has to be completely dark to see it.
The idea was ridiculous, but something in Linus's face made Danny pause. He shrugged.
Worth a shot.
He clicked off his flashlight. Linus did the same. Suddenly, as if drawn from the very night itself, lights bloomed, flickering orange filaments in white bulbs and patterns like constellations. The carnival appeared before them, sprawling and vast, its tents and train cars rising out of nowhere. The smell of caramel and popcorn filled the air, and somewhere far off, a calliope hummed its tune. But there was no one around. No crowd. No laughter. No life. Just the yawning entrance to the main tent and a wooden sign that read, "Welcome to the show." The boys exchanged a glance. Then without speaking, they entered the tent, taking seats in the second row from the front. The interior was cavernous, its darkness cold and thick. In the center ring, a spotlight flickered to life, illuminating a figure. The man from the flyer, a Zorro-like figure standing tall and proud, with a mask and cape. The silence was pierced by sudden, thunderous applause. Linus and Danny turned, but there was no one behind them, no one at all. And still, the cheers grew louder, a roaring crowd where none existed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the spectacle of your lives.
Corporal Catastrophe's voice boomed through the crowd.
Tonight, you will witness wonders beyond your wildest dreams.
At once, shadows began to pour from the edges of the ring, swirling, dancing, engulfing the man until all that remained was a vortex of darkness, broken only by the streaks of passing light. Then, with a sharp crack, a gasp arose from the invisible crowd. Linus's heart raced. Danny leaned forward in his seat, transfixed. Figures emerged from the shadows. Acrobats, clowns, beasts with glowing eyes, all swirling in impossible arcs above their heads, twisting and contorting in ways that defied nature. The longer Linus stared, the more the figures seemed to dissolve into the air itself, as though they weren't truly there at all. And yet in their laughter, their cheers, their eerie voices continued to echo through the tent in a macabre sound. One of the shadows descended, a gaunt figure with a jackal's grin, its long, thin arms reaching out towards Danny. Danny's hand twitched, his eyes glazed over as he stared at the creature. Linus felt a rising panic. He grabbed Danny's arm, tugging hard, but his friend remained rooted in place, mesmerized. The shadow's voice was a dry whisper, like leaves scraping against stone.
Want to join the Shadow Show, boy?
The lights flared, blindingly bright, and in the glare, Linus lost his grip. He blinked, and Danny was gone. Frantically, Linus spun around, searching the tent. The carnival stretched impossibly vast now, its lights dimming, flickering out one by one. His breath came in ragged gasps.
Danny!
No answer, just a faint hum of the organ, the murmur of unseen crowds, and from somewhere in the distance, Colonel Catastrophe's voice echoed through the darkness.
Ha! What a crowd! Give our performers one last round of applause.
As Linus stumbled backwards into the night, cold tendrils wrapped around his feet, pulling him towards the ring. He caught one last glimpse of Danny, a hollowed-eyed figure standing in the invisible crowd, clapping, cheering, lost amongst the shadows, and then darkness. When the dawn broke, the corner of Pickle and Hughes was empty again. Only a single crumpled flyer lay in the dirt, its colors faded, its promises forgotten. For one night only, Colonel Catastrophe's famous shadow show, playing only in the void.